Police have launched a murder investigation after two women believed to be a mother and daughter were shot dead by a 35-year-old gunman in a seaside town. Firearms officers were dispatched to St Leonards-on-Sea, East Sussex, following reports of gunfire, where they led two other women from their house to safety. Both women, including one who was heavily pregnant, were unhurt but suffering from shock and taken to hospital. The two victims, aged 32 and 53, will remain in the house overnight as forensic investigators collect evidence. Scroll down for video. A railway underpass near the house which leads to a beach was being searched late into the night where it is believed police arrested the gunman. He was apprehended 2 hours after the shooting and taken into custody on suspicion of murder, and a firearm was seized. Detective Chief Superintendent Jason Tingley said, "Tragically, two women aged 32 and 53 have died after being shot, and our thoughts are with their family and friends. We are not looking for anyone else in connection with this incident, but we are appealing for any witnesses to come forward." Bystander Emma Nicholson was on the main road with her husband when a black 4x4 full of armed police swerved and stopped in front of them. She told The Sun Online they jumped out and took cover behind the car. A couple of them were right behind a car. It was very shocking, she said. The armed police shouted, eyes on, have we got eyes on?" Miss Nicholson, who lives nearby, added, "They were shouting for all of us to move. We can still hear helicopters overhead and police sirens rushing past." James Butler described how he was driving east towards Hastings on the A259 when he was stopped by a police vehicle. He added, "I was driving along when I saw a car coming towards me flashing its lights at me. 5 seconds later I saw why. I had to brake pretty hard because I realized that there was an unmarked police car in the road. People seemed to be confused. They didn't know how serious it was. Then one driver tried to drive past the police car. All of a sudden, police officers were shouting, get back, your life is at risk, do not come past, turn around." There were police officers with guns and torches shining into nearby houses. A source told Mail Online prior to the arrest that police were looking for a man in his 30s wearing dark clothing. Inspector Mark Rosser, a critical incident inspector in East Sussex, tweeted that the double shooting was not a random act. He said, "We are doing our best to get people back to their homes. Really sorry for the disruption. We are trying to minimize the scenes as quickly as we can. One male is in custody and this was not a random act." Steve Weir, who lives just 500 yards from scene of the shooting, told Mail Online, "We heard a few bangs and didn't think anything of it. My missus then went to leave the house not long after to go and pick up one of the kids who was down for the weekend. But she was then diverted by police and told to go in a different direction. She was sent away for her own safety, according to police, and she hasn't been allowed back into the house." Mr. Weir added, "Since then, we've had helicopters over the scene trying to search for the guy. They've been searching all the back gardens and have come to knock on our door." Police said they were looking for a man in his 30s who was wearing dark clothing. They didn't give any more of a description than that. Emma Nicholson was on the main road with her husband when a black 4x4 packed with armed police swerved and stopped in front of them. They jumped out and took cover behind the car. A couple of them were right behind a car. It was very shocking, Ms. Nicholson told The Sun Online. Eyes on, have we got eyes on?" The armed coppers in protective were yelling, according to Emma, who lives just off Bexhill Road. She added, "They were shouting for all of us to move. It was just shocking. You don't see armed police in the UK as of 5 minutes ago. We can still hear helicopters overhead and police sirens rushing past our window all the time." James Butler told the Hastings Observer he was driving east towards Hastings on the A259 when he was stopped by a police vehicle. He said, "I was driving along to go and see my boyfriend Michael for dinner when I saw a car coming towards me flashing its lights at me. I wondered why they were doing it. I thought I didn't have my lights on. 5 seconds later I saw why. I had to brake pretty hard because I realized that there was an unmarked police car in the road." People seemed to be a bit confused. They didn't know how serious it was. Then one driver tried to drive past the police car. All of a sudden, police officers were shouting, get back, your life is at risk, do not come past, turn around." There were police officers with guns and torches shining the light into nearby houses. A couple of minutes later, A lady came over and asked what was going on. She was visibly taken aback by the situation and seemed quite scared. The next thing she said to me was, "I'm going inside. I'm not staying out here. It's not safe." Armed police were spotted leaving their vehicles and entering a black car which had parked on a nearby curb, with shouts coming from nearby. Blacked-out saloon cars, unmarked vehicles and 4x4s were also spotted near the crime scene. Police have been turning drivers around from the A259 from the Ravenside Retail Park to Bulverhithe area following the incident. Horsham Police tweeted, "We are responding to reports of a shooting at a property in Bexhill Road, St Leonards. Please stay away from the area and remain indoors until more information is available. This is not a terrorist-related incident."
Tell me where the freak's at.